Meteorologist Jay Polk right now, who's got a lot of stuff going on the radar.
That's right, John. Speaking of negative feedback, hopefully we don't get too much of that over the next couple of days, as we are expecting and forecasting plenty of snow. Ceramic Landscape Materials, Cameron Fountain, 85, 87 in Mesa Ridge, 45 degrees the temperature. So it's a mild start to the morning. And as we finish it off in the Springs, we'll make our way into the lower 60s. Middle 60s in Pueblo, as we top out at 66, 63 in Canyon City, 61 in the Springs, lower to middle 60s, and even middle to upper 60s as you head to the southeastern corner of the state. The temperatures in the mountains top out in the 30s and 40s, 49 in Salida. Zooming it out now to give you an idea of what it looks like around the west, we can see that storm system that we'll be tracking for the next couple of days on the Skyscan satellite and radar, beginning to produce a little bit of snow in western portions of Colorado, and of course also into Utah, Wyoming, and back into Idaho, all coming in our direction. Should be here sometime as we go through the beginning of this evening, at least for the beginning of the snow, mixed in with some rain at first, because temperatures are going to be mild south of this warm front that you can see on your screen. It's double barrel low pressure centers which will be affecting us over the next couple of days. As we put our Skycast into motion, you can see what happens with the first front. It drives our temperatures down and begins to change any rain that we see later on this afternoon over to snow, and then as we go through our Sunday morning, we see some snow pretty much from pillar to post, from east to west over the state of Colorado, but the heaviest snow will still be west of the Continental Divide. As we go through our Sunday morning, Sunday afternoon, after a bit of a break on Sunday morning, the snow picks back up, beginning areas west of the interstate and then making its way all the way through the region. This is what the view at 2:30 in the morning on Monday looks like. Heavy amounts of snow are possible just about everywhere in the Great Centennial State, and that'll be the case as we go through our Monday morning commute too, which means it's going to be a bit of a mess. Two models that we look at, one of these is the GFS, the American model. You see how high the totals are here. The reason I talked about comparing it to fishing, though, is because of the grid spacing of this model. In other words, the larger the grid spacing is, the less of the fine details that it picks up. It's like you put a net in the water at Lake Pueblo or at John Martin Reservoir. You don't get the small fish when you have the big net spacing, and that's the case with this model as well. So you notice that the totals are just as high in the mountains as they are along I-25. Because here the grid spacing is a little bit larger, it doesn't pick up those fine details, so it doesn't pick up the higher totals in the mountains that we'll see compared to town. Bottom line, we are going to see heavy amounts of snow, though, just about everywhere around the region. It'll really make for a mess of our morning commute as we go through our Monday, Tuesday, even into possibly Wednesday. 61 our high today. 23 on Monday, 22 on Tuesday. Temperatures stay very chilly all the way to the end of the forecast, and they begin to rebound, but they're still below the normal on Fridays. We only top out at 38 in the Springs. In Pueblo, 66 today, gives way to 29 on Monday, 28 on Tuesday, 45 as we go into the middle portion of the forecast, especially by next Friday. Canyon City sitting in the lower 60s today, right around 30 on Monday. Then temperatures rise back up, lower 40s as we end off the forecast. Lows drop into the lower teens before rebounding just a bit late on. And in Teller County, our temperature sitting in the upper 40s on Saturday, gives way to lower to middle 20s on Monday. Upper teens, the best we'll be able to do, John, on Tuesday. And temperatures rebound middle 30s on Friday. And temperatures on the low end of the scale, yeah, it's pretty chilly. Below zero for a couple of days running on Wednesday and Thursday mornings. It is going to be very cold as we go through the middle portion of the forecast before it does rise back up later on. So we don't see that snow melt anytime soon, John, once it begins to fall, because temperatures will be below freezing for several days running.
And anyone you may have inspired to go fishing should do it today.
Now.
Get it done.
After Good Morning Colorado ends at 9 o'clock.
Right. Thanks, Jay.